or actually, no, well, both square ones. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, like there hasn't really been too much tournament play that we've seen from DL. And I think if I remember the track records to a T, I think it was DL was just out of top 8 after losing to Promo in the most recent square one, the most recent online square one, which I think was 23. And then in 22, DL was, I believe, a third place finish, I believe with a close set against Dorami. And then eventually fell to Uyashoda/Kazu. And already the 64 ulti from DL, a very strong start. Ferox is going to have to find some way to keep this zone efficient. Able to get through, finds the ulti, but it's
nice L-spin finish, but yeah, that miss drop, oof. Yikes. That is rough.
And despite the fact that those zones were almost equal, look at the difference in a zone attack per minute. DL is flying through these zones and knows the value of getting all of that attack out so quickly. A little bit of a misdrop, but the T-spin double is going to clean it perfectly. Almost sets up a Finn on accident. You do have the double Tetris from DL, able to retaliate a little bit on Ferox's board. And the garbage is shifted twice within one attack for Ferox. And right now, nothing but that clean 6-3 well for DL. Able to beat up quite a zone, 19 lines. Gonna get the 60 Ultimatress, 47 Perfectress for Ferox, but able to do so fast enough that they're going to survive the interaction. Oh, little misdrop spins there from DL. Has to sacrifice both eyepieces right next to each other, creating a third eyepiece dependency. Definitely a very scary spot. Both players around the 40,000 point mark. A couple more T-spins will really push things close to phase 3. Ferox being pressured a little bit to zone early, not able to get through to the garbage. So DL 10 lines already, with the STSD continuing to play at peak efficiency. Nearly a curb setup, but it's still a 61 Perfectress. Well pass into phase 3. Ferox is going to need to find a miracle down stack in order to survive this. And unfortunately for Ferox's sake, I'm not sure if it's there in time. Oh, we do have a little, okay. Unfortunately, not going to be there. And so DL, 2 games to none. Alright, Ferox continuing with the 6-3 stack. I think DL wanted to build it, but had a little bit of a miss in the center. Oh.
Ooh, oh. DL almost topping out there.
And just to find those good down stacks just before. Still keeping this back-to-back going strong. Ferox right now having to work with this sidewell. Looking to make that donation over on the left-hand side. A little bit of a tricky board to work with, having to place that S on top. Able to still make the stack pretty clean. And DL with a couple of compromises. Able to still get 19 for a 50-line Perfectress. And right now, Ferox is playing very, very clean. Look at this stack.
Oh, T-spin double at the top.
Oh,
not quite. Room for a 20, but that's still 54 attack. I think Ferox might have waited a bit, might have just hesitated a bit too long there. I think that gave DL enough time to send some extra garbage.
Oh.
Oh.
Gonna green for the ST
okay.
option. Didn't have room to again, very good adaptation, but like sometimes you have to make some quick changes to the build. And right now, this is a very nice zone from Diao. Another Ultimatrix 65.
Oh, that is a huge Q for Ferox.
Oh, using a T to set up the dono as well is probably not going to work out in the long run. Going to need as many eye pieces as possible, but it's nowhere near clearing through that garbage queue. And look at the stats from Diao, 142 over 123. Extremely efficient, extremely fast. These are looking like the numbers we're going to see from Uyashoda in a couple of rounds from here. And to be completely honest, I feel like this is going to be a very exciting matchup if Diao decides to make it one step further for a top 4 spot. Oh my! Okay, Dio's having a... Oh my goodness!
Oh jeez! Oh no!
All we're okay.
Oh, misdrop
okay,
after misdrop. Ferox has a prime opportunity to counter here. All right. Diao managed to free. Okay, Diao managed to free things up.
Holy cow, Diao!
That would have been a really bad way to go out of the game.
I'm glad Diao managed to find like the best case, but I was panicking. All right, 1950.
Ferox. Oh, so close to a perfect clear.
And 59.
59
Ferox.
Pretty good stuff. Nice T-spin triple there.
All right, points right now in the lead with Diao, around 55,000. One or two more T-spins will probably kick it to phase 3.
Or just a few more pieces being dropped. It just came in with soft drop points.
All right, but keep in mind, Ferox has a lot of clean underneath that cheese that's starting to come in through the board. And be able to make some really strong moves, but not with that eyepiece misdrop. Gonna be a little bit more difficult. It's 39, I think, from Diao on that zone. And there's not a lot of room. Ferox looking for a T-piece, but where is it in queue? And unfortunately, I think that T-piece greed is going to put the salt to the wound for game 4. And Diao now on match point, on the verge of completing the sweep.
Ferox swept Thedavotigger earlier, and now he's at risk of getting swept by Diao.
Alright, both players again with the tried and true 6-3, the marquee opener of Tetris Effect Connected. Ferox having to work over to that side well. A little unfortunate, as a lot of players will prefer having that well in the center to get as much garbage as possible. Or, excuse me, as many T-spins off of it as possible. They're, you know, generally a little bit more flexible in the center. Okay, Ferox with another T-spin double. Honestly, making very nice work of that sidewell. Still perfectly clean after 13, 15 lines. You do have the 51 Perfectress from Diao. And I think Ferox is going to leave that. It's a 55 Perfectress. Alright, bit of down stack there from Ferox. Gonna help keep off a lot of that cheesy garbage. But again, unfortunately, as a lot of these T-spin doubles on back-to-back from Diao are getting partially countered, that's gonna add up the cheese over time for Ferox. And with the misdrop, Diao goes into zone with, I believe, the Trinity. Oh my goodness, so close to an all clear. 59 on the
Ferox has a maybe still has it. Manages to get it up before it was not worth it.
The T-spin triple was completed, but that was That's
That is
the Diao. My goodness. And look at that 140 over 130.